names are Nikita, Marcus, James and Charlie, and this is our project for HPE. Let us venture into the chosen subject, starting with, what is it? Do you excel working alone or prefer to cooperate within a group? As many people may prefer to work alone because groups slow them down, others disagree, stating that it's better to have different people of expertise to help contribute to the subject at hand. Sometimes, however, groups or individuals can't accept each other's thoughts or beliefs, which creates conflict. Today we'll be talking about conflict and cooperation and how each has its own benefits despite the stereotypes. This next section is called knowledge. In this part of our research, we'll look at what we already know about the topic. Let's have a quick glance at some mainstream questions. Who? What? When? Why? How? And where? So, just what do we know about conflict and cooperation? It can teach you to become an active listener. Conflict should be sorted out in a calm, responsible, acceptable manner. There shouldn't be any aggressive arguing or harm done. Try to accept, respect, and understand others' points of views. Work with each other, not against each other. When necessary, consult an elder person or mediator to help solve the problem. Look at the problem, not the person. Keep your focus on the task, not others' flaws. It's time to compare and contrast the good and the bad of conflict and cooperation. This section is called Bright Side and Downside.
Bright side. Conflict. It teaches you to have patience. It builds your ability to resolve the situation. It may allow you to express how you feel about something or something. It can raise issues that may not have been spoken about otherwise. Cooperation. It makes a job easier. It can speed up the process. It develops your social skills. It can help resolve a conflict. It can bring peace among the group. It can help people bond. You have other people to support and encourage you. Sometimes you can assist in completing something bigger and better than a single person could do. Everyone has talents, so if you have a group of people working together, that you're going to have so many different opinions, knowledge and skills to help complete the task. Downside. Conflict. It can make you annoyed or aggravated. It can make you say or do things you wouldn't mean. It slows down a process. It can damage relationships. It sidetracks the task or may derail it altogether. Cooperation. There are not many downsides to cooperation. However, it can require effort and patience, and it can also take longer so that everyone can make a contribution.
This next section is called feelings. We're going to think about how we feel about these topics. Conflict. Name calling can make people feel unwanted, unappreciated, which can cause arguments amongst one each other or in a team. Once this happens, feelings towards each other may never be the same again. Being an observer of destructive conflict can cause levels of discomfort, lacks of trust and security. High levels of stress may occur in a work environment, especially with the pressure of working in a group or having confliction. Cooperation. In a group, we may feel left out or uncared for. Sometimes when we're working in a group, we may feel uplifted and just very great that people are encouraging us and welcoming our ideas. We feel accepted. There will always be some form of conflict. Every human being and living thing has to face conflict in our daily lives. In our personal lives, we try to avoid conflict, but there needs to be policy and laws. Something as simple as being able to read a person's body language or even an animal's, we can assess our situations and feelings which help us decide how to avoid conflict and better care with our responses. Let's see if we can challenge any of our thoughts. This section is called Thought Police. Have we made any assumptions that could be challenged? Some of our conclusions could be challenged by possible situations or people. For instance, someone may not think cooperating is worth it despite all our efforts to point out the positives. Having perspective is very important for this particular subject, considering the possible opinions of others. Do we have enough evidence for what we have been saying? There's enough evidence, opinions, and sources to support our conclusions about conflict and cooperation. Are we using a trustworthy source of evidence? We are using very accurate, yet trustworthy sources ourselves. By asking, surveying, and questioning people around us, we can find out what they enjoy and dislike about the topic, getting first-hand information where we can. What unanswered questions are still bothering us? Well, there's still the question of which is better, working in a group or by yourself? The only answer we can accurately give is that it differs, as different tasks require different people and skill sets. This next section is called Is It Fair? Conflict. Conflict never seems to be fair. But in some cases, there needs to be conflict to achieve the best possible result. Sometimes these conflicts, created by influences, teach us life lessons and skills. Is war really fair? Is famine? Is illness? Is it fair that the eggs from a bird's nest fall out of a tree in a storm? Cooperation. Not all cooperative outcomes are to the full benefit or sometimes what was expected.
I think. I think that both conflict and cooperation are needed in our lives. This is because it allows people to express their ideas and learn about another point of view on the same topic. In some instances, conflict is useful. In other instances, it is not, and cooperation is required.
A decision has to be made on importance. Priority has to be established. Simplify the situation, make a decision, and act on it. If your actions and decisions aren't giving you the best possible outcome you want, then reassess.
We think. What is our group decision when we put our ideas together and negotiate? We think that in certain cases, mild conflict can be useful and that cooperation is always useful. What are our three main reasons for this decision? Conflict can be useful because it can allow deeper thinking into a topic. A combination of ideas can be expressed and the best option is shown. Cooperation can be useful because it allows for easy decision making, less arguments, and it can help resolve a conflict. Can we sum up the opposite point of view? The opposite point of view to this topic would be that conflict never helps and is always bad. Cooperation is the only way to get things done.
That concludes all our research on conflict and cooperation. We hope you've enjoyed looking at our project. Group 1,